And welcome to Spectrum News. I am Rachel David White, coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State. Let's take a look at the headlines. President Tinubu says federal government exploring public-private partnership to finance critical infrastructure. Supreme Court rules old new Naira notes to coexist till further notice. Plus, U.S. Secretary of State Blinken to seek new extension of Gaza truce during Israel visit. We'll bring you details of the stories and many more in a moment. First, in the news this afternoon is Nigeria's leader, President Bola Tinubu, who has said that the federal government will explore public-private partnerships (PPP) to finance critical infrastructure listed in the 2024 budget estimate of 27.5 trillion naira. Tinubu said this while addressing a joint session of the National Assembly in Abuja during the presentation of a 2024 federal budget proposal. The president said a conservative oil price benchmark of $77.96 per barrel and a daily oil production estimate of 1.78 million barrels per day were adopted after a careful review of global oil market trends, and a naira to US dollar exchange rate of 715 naira per US dollar was adopted for 2024 as well. Given the breakdown of 2024 preparation bill, the president added that an aggregate expenditure of 27.5 trillion naira is proposed for the federal government in 2024, of which the non-debt recurrent expenditure is 9.92 trillion naira, while debt service is projected to be 8.25 trillion naira and capital expenditure is 8.7 trillion naira. In a related development, the Senate President Godswill Akpabio has declared that the National Assembly is determined to ensure an effective working relationship with the Bola Tinubu presidency towards delivering on people-focused developmental goals. Recall that President Bola Tinubu was at the National Assembly to present the 2024 national budget proposals before a combined sitting of the two legislative chambers today. Senator Akpabio outlined the 10th National Assembly's aligned objectives centered on nation-building, economic growth, and social development, and emphasized the need to diversify the economy, prioritize education, curb brain drain, and reduce the nation's high debt profile in tune with the president's priorities. Away from that, the federal government has pledged to improve the conditions of the orientation camps operated by the National Youth Service Corps NYSC nationwide. Minister of State for Youth Development Ayodele Olawande gave the assurance during an unscheduled visit to the NYSC orientation camp in Yipata, Kwara State. In a statement by the head of Press and Public Relations FMYD, Mariam Omar Yusuf, today in Abuja, Olawande bemoaned the deplorable condition of some NYSC camps nationwide, pledging to engage with all relevant authorities to transform the Kwara State orientation camp and others nationwide. He apologized to Corps members over the deplorable condition of their camps, describing it as an unacceptable situation that must be looked into by all relevant stakeholders. The minister thanked the Corps members for their resilience, pledging that the President Bola Tinubu's administration would not fail them. Meanwhile, the federal government had said its renewed Hope Shelter program will provide 1 million low-cost housing units for the vulnerable population within 7 years. The National Program Manager, Renewed Hope Shelter for the Poor, IDP and Refugees, Chidima Makwachuku, stated these at the 6th Nigeria Affordable Housing Finance and Innovation Summit, Northeast Expo 2023 in Abuja. Makwachuku said the federal government would collaborate with the state and local government to secure the lands for the houses. She added that the project will be moved to all the states in Nigeria by 2024. Alake has assured foreign investors of low production costs in the country's mining sector. Speaking at the Mines and Money Conference in London, Alake said President Bola Tinubu has embarked on reforms to boost investment by streamlining procedures and reducing hurdles to attract foreign investors. According to a statement by the minister's aide, Kehinde Bamibatan, Alake said the country's geological bounty encompasses over 44 distinct mineral types found its exploitable quantities across more than 500 locations. He added that by adding value to the country's raw materials, the ministry not only create higher value products but also generate employment opportunities for Nigeria teeming youth and increase the sector's overall profitability and contribution to the nation's GDP. In a separate development, the Minister of Youth Development, Dr. Jamila Ibrahim, has urged youth in the creative sector to be intentional about their content. She met the call in Abuja during the opening of a two-day 2023 Gender and Inclusion Summit organized by the Policy Innovation Center at PIC. According to her, the creative sector has a massive role in shaping the youth agenda, especially with the kind of content they output. Dr. Ibrahim noted that Nigerian youth have had to combat the high rates of unemployment and ineligibility to thrive, which is corroborated by the job drain syndrome. From the judiciary, the Supreme Court has today ordered the old 200, 500 and 1,000 naira notes and said it should continue to coexist with the new notes till further notice. The Apex Court ruled that both old and new notes should continue to remain legal tender under the federal government. While they have put a process in place until the federal government put a process in place for its replacement or redesign after due consultation with relevant stakeholders. Recall that in mid-November, the Central Bank of Nigeria had said the old notes would remain legal tender indefinitely. On electoral matters, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) in Lagos State has delivered a certificate of return to Ralph Age Suleiman, APC candidate, who was pronounced the genuine winner of the March 18th Amuwo Dauphin Constituency 2 House of Assembly election by the Court of Appeal. INEC President Electoral Commissioner REC Professor Ayobami Salami, while presenting the certificate today, asked Age Suleiman to give his quota to the growth of his constituency and Nigeria as a whole. Salami congratulated the congressman and prayed to God to provide him wisdom to do what is right. In another development, the Nigerian Defense Academy (NDA) conducted its matriculation ceremony in Kaduna, formally welcoming 441 cadets into the 75th regular course. The event featured an oath-taking ceremony as the cadets were officially inducted into their respective academic programs. In his opening remarks, the commandant of the Academy, Major General John Ochai, said out of a staggering 30,000 applicants, only 441 cadets, including one from the Gambia, secured admission. General Ochai detailed the distribution of cadets across various faculties, which include 138 in arts and social sciences, 118 in sciences, 37 in engineering and technology, 55 in management sciences, and 91 in military science and interdisciplinary studies. While instilling a sense of responsibility, the commandant encouraged the cadets to uphold discipline throughout their training. He emphasized that the Academy's training aimed to equip them for national defense and to discharge constitutional duties professionally. And now to Africa, where Kenya's parliament has banned the wearing of a unique suit named after the late Zambian President Kenneth Kaunda within the building. The Speaker of Parliament, Moses Wetangula, said Kaunda's suit, as well as traditional African clothes, were not welcomed. Wetangula said his decision to ban the suit was due to emerging fashion trends that threatened the established parliamentary dress code. Reports say Kenyan President William Ruto often wears the suit on official occasions, making it popular within the political class. Still in Africa, the UN has said it is appalled by the killing of dozens of civilians by Islamist gunmen in northern Burkina Faso on Sunday. It said a large number of fighters from the group known as JNIM had attacked a military base, homes and camps for displaced people in the city of Djibo, killing at least 40 civilians. Earlier, the army confirmed that several hundred armed men had tried to penetrate its military base there. Burkina Faso is battling a jihadist insurgency that spilled over from neighboring Mali in 2015. The country is ruled by a transitional government put in place following a military coup last year. On the foreign scene, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken today said he would push for the extension of a temporary ceasefire in Gaza during his upcoming visit to Israel. Blinken's commitment came as the Israel-Hamas truce entered its sixth and last day under the current agreement. Still on the foreign scene, a U.S. military aircraft with 8 personnel on board has crashed off Yakushima Island in Japan. Japan's Coast Guard told newsmen have likely been found off Yakushima. Reports say that CV-22 Osprey was trying to land at Yakushima Airport while its left engine was on fire. The aircraft was thought to be heading from Iwakuni base in Yamaguchi region to Kadena base in Okinawa. Still to come in the news, Mbappe criticizes Newcastle United after Champions League 1-1 draw. Stay with us.
Christmas season is here again. Are you aware that making your business or products visible on a television space gives your brand a wider visibility and patronage? In the spirit of the season, Spectrum Television is offering a whopping 25% discount on all the services. Advertise your products and services while this offer lasts from 1st December 2023 to January 31st, 2024. We are a television with a passion to take your business and services on a satisfactory lane. You do not want to miss this opportunity. For more inquiries, visit our city office at number 2 Taft Plaza Close off Akaitinen Road, Yo Akwa Ibom State, or call the following numbers on your screen. Spectrum TV, broadening your horizon.
Welcome back and many thanks for staying with us. On our business news, the presidency has expressed support for the banking sector consolidation initiative of the Central Bank of Nigeria, saying it would help the country to grow the economy to a new height. This came barely 5 days after the CBN said it would ask banks to raise new capital. According to the presidency, it has become important to consider the capital adequacy of Nigerian banks in light of a projected $1 trillion economy in 8 years. And still in business, the International Air Transport Association, IATA, says the aviation sector is still recovering from losses of the pandemic which crippled flight operations globally. IATA estimated that Nigeria lost about 21 billion naira monthly during the outbreak. The association said to make up for the shortfall, government should avoid imposing higher fees, levies, carbon taxes, or new taxes on air, transport, trade, or tourism. In health, Kwara State government says no fewer than 700,000 children had been vaccinated during the 2023 measles campaign across the 16 local government areas of the state. The Executive Secretary, Kwara State Primary Health Care Development Agency, Dr. Nusirat Elelu, disclosed this in Ilorin during the 14th Media Parliament of the Nigeria Union of Journalists. Elelu, who spoke healthcare beyond lip service, said the vaccination effort had helped to build the children's immune systems to combat measles. Elelu added that the state had made significant improvement in vaccination, leading its peers in the North Central geopolitical zone. And still on our health news, the United Nations has said it is still possible to end the AIDS scourge by 2030. This, the UN said, can be achieved only if communities and services on the ground are given the means. The UNAIDS agency said in its annual World Aid Day report that community-led responses are unrecognized, under-resourced, and in some places under attack. The agency said programs delivered by frontline community-based organizations need full support from government and donors to end the AIDS pandemic. And sports Paris Saint-Germain's captain Kylian Mbappe has criticized Newcastle United after both team UEFA Champions League 1-1 draw on Tuesday night in Paris. Mbappe insisted that Newcastle had nothing, adding that PSG should have won the Champions League match. Reports say Alexander Isak put Newcastle in front in the first half, but the Premier League side were unable to hang on for a win as Tino Livramento was punished for a harsh handball in injury time, which allowed Mbappe to equalize from the penalty spot. Meanwhile, PSG dominated the game with 31 efforts in goal, while Newcastle United failed to register a shot on target after Isak's opener in 24th minutes. Speaking at his post-match interview after the game, Mbappe was critical of Newcastle's approach to the game. And still in sport, British Gymnastics has banned coaches from weighing gymnasts under new gymnastics rule designed to stop harmful practices, which it says are on the fringes of abuse. The 2022 White Review found systematic physical and emotional abuse in the sport, born of inadequate practice. The safeguarding rules also say only sports science or medical practitioners are allowed to do the weighing, with scientifically valid rationale being the reason for it. According to the rules, gymnasts aged 10 or below can only be weighed with the consent of both their gymnast and their parent or guardian. On our entertainment news, Grammy-nominated Afrobeat singer Seun Kuti has asserted that Lagos is white man's land. He said, contrary to the recent trend of various Nigerian ethnic groups claiming ownership of Lagos, the actual owners are foreigners who own the majority of the city's real estate and wealth. The late Afrobeat pioneer, Fela Kuti's son, lamented that the economy of Lagos and Nigerians in general was being controlled by foreigners. And still on entertainment, Nigerian singer Paul Okoye, better known as Root Boy of the P-Square, has urged his colleagues in the entertainment industry to invest the proceeds of their talent when they are still making waves. The Reason With Me Kronos advises against a backdrop of veteran Nigerian entertainers coming out to seek public assistance due to health reasons or economic hardship. He said the situation is making the entertainment industry lose its prestige. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do ensure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, SpectrumTVLive.ng. You have been watching Spectrum News at 4. I am Rachel David White. Good afternoon.